In this video, I want to share with you 5 reasons why I think learning Tagalog or Filipino is more challenging than learning Indonesian and Malay. At least that is my perspective. So let's get started. And though there are similarities, I was quite surprised by the greater complexity that seems to exist in Tagalog and Filipino. While Indonesian Malay strictly uses subject-verb-object word order, Tagalog offers greater flexibility with verb-subject-object, verb-object-subject, and also subject-verb-object, depending on context, emphasis, and formality. The most common structure in conversational Tagalog is where the verb comes first. For example,
Kumain ang bata ng mangga.
kumain, ate, ang bata, the child, the subject, ng mangga, the object. The Indonesian equivalent would be anak itu makan mangga, just like in most European languages. In Tagalog, VOS is used to emphasize the object and de-emphasize the subject. For example,
Kumain ng mangga ang bata.
so we have the verb, kumain, mangga, the object, and bata, the subject. So the Indonesian equivalent requires a passive construction for emphasis on the object. Mangga itu dimakan oleh anak itu, where we have dimakan is a passive verb, and oleh anak itu is by the child, the agent. The mango was eaten by the child. In Tagalog, SVO appears in both informal and formal contexts, but with a key difference. Informal without the I in casual speech.
Si Maria ay kumakain ng saging.
In Indonesia, there's no formal variation, simply Maria sedang makan pisang. Maria is eating a banana. For number 1, the key difference is that Tagalog is more flexible with VSO, VOS, and SVO. Emphasis on formality, determined word order, with I used for formal context, I the topic marker. While in Indonesian and Malay, there is fixed SVO order with passive voice constructions to use to emphasize the object when needed. This flexibility in Tagalog makes it more expressive, but also more challenging to learn compared to the straightforward SVO construction of Indonesian Malay, very similar to most European languages. The second thing is a verb-focused grammar. Tagalog verbs are central to the sentence structure and must align with tense, aspect, and focus. Examples:
Bumili ang lalaki ng isda.
the man bought fish, which is actor focus. The man bought the fish.
Binili ng lalaki ang isda.
Is object focus. The fish was bought by the man. In Indonesian Malay, verbs remain unchanged regardless of the subject focus. For example, lalaki itu membeli ikan. The man bought fish. Next, number 3, is the focus system, voice. Tagalog requires mastering the focus system, which changes the verb and sentence construction based on what is emphasized: actor, object, location, beneficiary. Indonesian and Malay do not have a comparative focus system. Number 4 is extensive affixation. Tagalog uses prefixes, suffixes, infixes, and circumfixes to modify verbs and nouns, adding complexity. For example, with the root bili, bumili, bought actor focus, binili was bought object focus, ibinili was bought for beneficiary focus, while Indonesian Malay primarily uses prefixes and suffixes, and affixation rules are simpler. They exist, but they're simpler. For example, membeli, to buy, dibeli was bought. Of course, there are other things that you can, other affixes and suffixes you could add, like membeli, membeli kan, etc. But still, I think the complexity is much greater in Tagalog. Then number 5, Use of particles. Tagalog includes particles like na, pa, nga, ba that modify tone, emphasis, or tense, requiring contextual understanding. Kain na, eat now. Kain pa, eat more. Kain ba, did you eat? Indonesian and Malay use fewer particles, making sentences simpler. So if you have experience learning these languages, I would love to hear your experience in the comments. What do you think about the difference in complexity? Thanks for listening, and see you in the next video.